Okay, so I think we are looking good. Let's do positions real quick so I can help with facilitation. Does anyone have the rhythm, or should I start the rhythm? All right, I'll start the rhythm. So 2 minutes here, 2, 3. It'll have to do. Okay. Does anyone help with note keeping, time keeping?
I will take.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Whoa.
There's really bad reception.
Alberto, we can't hear you very well. Alberto, your sound is like really bad. I don't know what happened.
I know. I mean.
All right. Well, hopefully it improves. Okay. Okay. So, I wonder why we don't have any topic 0. What's this topic 0? So I think we are ready for better. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay. Thanks, Joyce. So let's do our check-ins. So I can start. I'm gonna say I'm like at 2.25, and I've been working on a bunch of different stuff, including interviewing and working with Louisa, and we did our main session yesterday, and we got through a lot of decision policies and proposals and voting form, and also dealing with some of the assets and some of the new things, but also dealing with the contentious situation. But yeah, plenty going on. Check. Oh, also I am in California and it's daytime right now. 1x. Should be doing that. And I've got full voice, audio, text, computer, the whole shenanigans. Check. Who wants to check in next?
Okay. Who wants to check it? Mel?
Okay.
I'll go next. Okay. Okay, Mel.
Go ahead, Joyce.
I'll take note. Okay. I'm at 2, and yeah, it's been a busy day. We just finished our evaluation with my son, and everything went well. Thank you for all the support, and also we got 96, 98 grade, so it's okay. Thank God. And I'm feeling I increased it to 3.
Please stop and get
And
ready.
I've been working on
3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
Okay, before I took off, I've been working on budget form and also the life support portal. And also I'm on computer, and the time now is 11:07 p.m. here in my place.
All right, who would like to go next?
I can go next. I'm at a 7. I had a really good, productive client week, and Ziggin sent a check over. I've been in communication with them. Finished a new deck, and BAC looks like they're starting at $2,000 a month, which is very good news in terms of client income. So check.
And just understand they're doing $2,000 a month for good cause group or grant writing, or what exactly is
We
it?
still have to close on the scope, but at least we understand what their budget is right now. And I have to work out where the money actually goes, right? So
But do you know what it's for?
a good cause group, right? Services, but it could be done with workers, it could be done with SVG. That's an internal client conversation that we have to discuss.
But is there clarity in terms of like what the
No,
work is for?
we discussed several things like fundraising, board management. They have events, an event priority, but within that budget, we have to decide and come back with a proposal. But with what we can really do in that for that amount, So we're really thinking board management. Yeah, yeah, not sure yet.
Maybe I
All right,
can
who wants to
step
check
in with more information.
Yeah, go for it, Louisa.
Hello? Okay, yes. Yeah, so with BAC, they have a lot of needs, but currently not enough budget. But next year, looks like, they'll be able to plan it for longer term. So we're going in, just, put the foot in the door and see what they really need with, and hopefully, get a right amount that, will benefit all the groups under the umbrella. But as of now, we're still in negotiation with them.
Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, and I just want to add that they Mike did confirm that I'm excited about CCC because well, we did move things forward with Joel. I have to follow up with Joel, but then Mike did confirm that was his referral. I saw that we followed up with her over email. So yeah, the Eternity Serenity person that's Mike's contact.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, let's let Luisa finish checking in.
You hear me, guys?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
It's missing what
I
I
think
mean.
it's Luisa's turn in a second. We can definitely hear you.
Okay. Luisa.
Yeah.
Was Luisa checking in?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be really quick. So I am at 4.5, 5. I'm just mainly tired, but it's been a great day. I had a great session with Jay and a main session with the team yesterday, and excited to have a onboarding session with Ate. So yeah, pretty good here. I'm in Italy, and it's 11:10 p.m. right now. Over, check. Okay, that's Alberto.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. MA currently 1.7. I'm extremely anxious about this session. I am feeling not well and having problem connecting. The whole situation is creating me a lot of stress. I hope that we're all here with the state of mind and attitude and openness that it's required. Otherwise, I will check out because I am really scared about this. It's really making me anxious. So it's gonna go well, but at the moment I'm feeling very, very bad. So let's get started. Please, Jay, facilitate, and let's have the best possible contentious session. Even for
Okay. Anyone else need to check in? Do we get a Tay?
Is anyone getting me?
We can hear you.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you, Ate. We can hear you.
Okay.
Time to
Let-
stretch. Stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
Okay, let's take a stretch. 30 seconds. Okay, Tay,
Okay, let me check
Tay, you want
in.
to check in?
Yes, I'm at 3.5. I'm very happy we are finally at this level where everyone has agreed to join the session so that we talk things out like professionally and maturely. Uh, I have been working on the budget payroll and other priorities. I look forward to the session and I plead everyone calm down so that we work things out smoothly. Check.
Cool. Has anyone not checked in?
But then I
Okay.
don't get your line is breaking up. I don't know what's wrong.
But Jay is
You can't
clear
hear me
to
very well?
me. I can hear Jay.
Okay, you could try reconnecting it, Tay. I don't know. I think it might just be a delay or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, so if
Maybe it
everyone,
maybe it's just from my side. Since I have electricity issue, I'm using my backup, so I don't know. Maybe the internet is slow since we have had power failure since morning. Till now, nothing.
okay. Okay, so obviously the priority focus the session for today is dealing with the contentious situation. So my recommendation is that we just get organized. We like discuss and understand the policies and steps. Then we would go into full contentious communications, and this would be full non-violent communication. Just listening, right? We're just listening here, and our goal is to feel heard. Policy next step. The goal is to know policies, and next steps, and then after we'll see how that goes, and then probably do a view up. Some of the things that happen after that would be like listing.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So it would be like listing all the different types of issues and policies and the such. Listing issues, policies, etc. So, clarity on what happened. And obviously we need to do like next steps. Okay. Which would include scheduling, etc. Right? That's kind of like what I would see as like, our main goals in terms of the nonviolent communication. It's the I statements, observations, I statements, observations. Always miss the other ones here. Requests and feel how you feel. Requests and feelings. Okay. And then obviously we do a lot of repetition. So does this sound good for people? Do people want to prioritize any other topics? You want to just start with these two? Any other ideas?
Uh,
Looks good to me.
Yeah, good to meet you.
Yeah, to me it looks good.
So I'm going to put for the nonviolent communications like 40 minutes to 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
That sound about yeah?
yes.
Maybe in the other room. You look in the other room? You know, there? Well, they out. Yeah, are there any objections to these first two topics? Does that sound good or what?
The topic sound good. No objection from me.
So first, just going over the policies and the next steps. I mean, I don't know how much we really need to go over this, and we basically covered it yesterday. I'll go just copy and paste a couple things in here. The name of the contentious situation.
Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
Cool. So it's important to note that when we're doing the contentious situation, that we do it based on the, it's with Alberto, Mel, Jay, Luisa, Everest, Eileen, Ate, and the team, right? It's basically how we communicate about contentious situations. It's not between two specific people. If there's any questions about that, because I know, Ate, I think you mentioned that on Discord, but it's just important to understand that. It's very important. Does that make sense?
I really didn't get you well. My line is breaking up. I don't know why.
Yeah, I can hear you. Fine. I mean, basically, the bottom line is that the contentious situation, I don't know if anyone's helping with notes, but it is never between two people.
Okay.
Right? It's not like, oh, this is the contentious situation of person A and person B. It's like, that's not what this is about. This is about the evolution of the whole team and the relationships of all the people in the team and what's going on. Everyone has a relationship here. Ooh, and did you link the new document?
Yes.
So in this document, we actually have a criteria list of what needs to be documented. Did you guys see the criteria list? Did you guys see the criteria list?
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Is that a no?
I haven't seen it. And then, yeah.
Well, I mean, we went over it yesterday, so you weren't there yesterday, Mel. So on the contentious situations, there's the worker organizing list, and then there's the contentious, I guess that's the one. It should have the whole process, and there's also should be a responsibility organizing and everything. But if you guys want, I can just go over the basics. I mean, obviously, you want to link notes, right? You want to, copy and paste Discord messages, other links or information as needed, and then you also do like a summary of what's going on. Okay, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And who's doing that? Again, that's Ate. You're working on that. Is anyone else working on that?
Yes, I'm working on that. I had to do that today, but since I had no power, I'll do it tomorrow.
And then you want to help with that too, Joyce?
Yeah, we were working together before.
Yeah, we worked that before, yeah.
Your eyes.
Great.
Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Perfect. Okay, so then what the only other thing I want to go over real quick is like our overall conflict evolution policy. So obviously I'm not going to go through all of the details here. You can read it if you really want to know, but the bottom line is that everyone's required to show up in contentious situations and communicate and work things out. If someone doesn't want to be involved, then that creates a much more difficult situation, and can result in removal. And then from there, you also have the worst case scenario is that if things are just completely falling apart at the most basic rudimentary levels, the worst case scenario is that it creates a new branch of the network. But no one is ever, as long as people participate, no one is ever removed. So hopefully that is clear as far as our policies. Are there any other questions on the policies? Yeah?
No questions at the moment.
What do you need things for? What do you need things for? Can you just call him? I don't know. But I'm trying to work, and that's the second time you guys are All right. Comment. Is there any questions about the policy?
No.
So I think we're done with this topic. Then any other questions just in general about the process? Obviously, when we go through the process, which we'll cover again, we do I statements, observations, requests, and feelings. So I'll cover that again. But that is the process for the nonviolent communication. But there's many other processes involved. This is just the first one, like the go first thing we always do. So no other questions? Mel, Alberto?
No questions.
No questions yet.
Okay, let's jump into the next topic. All right, topic number 2.
Let me create it, Jay.
Oh, too late. I did it. You can
Ah,
finish
okay.
it. So, for the nonviolent communications.
Time to take a break.
Oh,
Please
perfect.
stop, write down whatever you were about to say, and take a break for 6 minutes.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a break. And then when we come back, we'll get jumping right into the whole main focus here. And we're going to just start communicating and going over these I statements, observations, requests, and feelings, and repeating back and forth. So I don't know who wants to go first when we get back. It'll be either or Alberto or whoever.
I would
So
like to go
5-minute break.
first.
Oh, Ate wants to go first. Okay. Well, if everyone's all right with that. But yeah, so let's just go ahead and take a 5-minute break, and when we come back, we'll get started.
Okay.
Okay, see you all in 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
5.5. Yeah.
Warning of break. Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
Okay. Anyone back?
Yeah, back.
I'm back.
All right, so I'm just going to review our non-violent communication guidelines one last time, and then if everyone's okay with it, we can go into Tay and then go from there. So, okay, so there's 4 components of the nonviolent communication guidelines. There is using I statements. So that means not saying, you know, they, he, she, you, all that. Talk about yourself. Talk about yourself. State what you observed. So number 2 is stating what you observed, which means that you're not saying what is your opinion about things. You want to say what you actually observed. And then you want to state how it made you feel, right? And that is the opposite of not casting blame, right? You're not saying like, you are a terrible person. Instead, you're saying, you made me feel awful, right? And then number 4 is that you can make requests, right? Make requests, you know, not orders or, you know, et cetera, right? So hopefully that is clear in terms of just a reminder of our 4 guidelines for nonviolent communication. Any last questions? Otherwise, we will go into Ate. If Ate is,
Okay,
if
I just
everyone's
have
okay with that.
a question. So, for example, when you say like one, you say use I statement. So, do you want to say, okay, it's okay, it's okay, no question.
All right, cool. So does anyone object to Ate going first? Otherwise, Ate, you can get started.
No,
Yeah,
No question?
I'm very interested in hearing Ate's comments. Yeah, please go ahead, Ate.
Okay, thank you guys for permitting me to go first. I just want like
Time to pause.
to
Please stop.
okay.
Close your eyes and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Yeah, I just want like to remind all of us that we are all humans. We do make mistakes. This feeling that the team members are feeling right now, I know about this feeling. I have felt it before. But the only solution is not like keeping quiet, um being um harsh with our words. We just need to talk it out because when you remove everything that is in you, you feel relief and we are going to go move forward together. So please, no one should keep anything in their heart. We should say everything. We should feel free and let's air it out. Let's remove the bad energy that is in us. I know most of us we are angry. We might have been hurt one way or the other. Let's just air it out as a team. We look for a solution because if we the more we talked about it, the more you bring out all the grievances that's in you, the easier we'll find a solution to it. So I'm just playing on us to really work hand in hand because when the team is like this, the work isn't going. It isn't going. Me for personally, if I can say it, it really puts. I'm sorry, I have to call him. It really puts Jay in a very difficult situation right now. So let's try to work hand in hand. I know it's difficult. I know it is like, as I used to say, it's a drop of water that fill the cup. But let's understand each other. We are humans. Let's not be hard, please. Check.
Thank
Can
you,
I
Ate.
add something too?
No, you can't. Is that
All right.
Luisa? Is that Luisa?
Yes,
Okay, so
it is me.
you can go next as long as nobody is against that. But before you go next, somebody is going to repeat everything that Ate said. You're going to summarize what Ate said in your own words. So if you want to do that, Lucy, you can. But if anyone else would like to do that, also you're welcome to do that. Okay, so before Luisa goes, or whoever wants to go next, we need to do a repetition of stating what you heard in your own words. Does anyone want to do that?
Okay, I will
Time
do
for
that, Jay.
breath.
All right,
Stop
hold on
and
just a
get
quick breath.
ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
Okay, Joyce. Can you summarize what you heard Tate say in your own words?
Yeah. Ate said that well, she's reminding that we are all humans and we make mistakes. So she before also experienced like in a contentious situation. So she said that it's hard, but just talk it out and you will feel relieved. And then just remove the bad energy. You might be angry, hurt, but let's work hand in hand. He said, because if the team is like this, angry and all, work is not going to happen. And yeah, that's it.
Great, thank you, Joyce. Ate,
Yes,
did
Jay.
Joyce correctly state what you were trying to convey?
Yes, she
Was she
did.
correct in? Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So next is going to be Luisa, unless anyone has an objection with Luisa going next.
No objection.
Great. All right. So just so everyone understands the process here, so Luisa's going to go. You're going to be able to finish. You can also pause anytime you need to. We're going to repeat back what you said. We'll make sure that you're heard correctly, and then you can finish. Okay. So Luisa, your turn.
Okay. Thank you very much.
But just a minute.
Very.
Is somebody recording?
Yes, we are live streaming, recording,
Okay.
station, all of the
Thanks.
good jazzy.
Okay, Luisa. Sorry.
Wonderful. Okay. So I would like to second Ate that indeed conflicts do happen, and we should welcome conflicts too, because in teams, perhaps sometimes we evolve through conflicts. So don't be afraid of that. And then maybe we're here to grow together. So can we and how can we create a better environment and container for this to happen? I believe that me personally, I'm learning from this experience I'm sharing with you guys, and I believe every one of you are learning something in this experience that we're sharing together. So just want to say it's not something to be afraid of. Let's welcome conflict. Not that we should have conflict every day, but not shying against,
Close your eyes
shy
now.
from
1,
conflict,
2,
and we're all here to grow.
open your eyes.
Were you done, Luisa? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Check.
So would anyone like to repeat back what Luisa just said in your own words?
I'll do.
Okay, who's that? Ate?
Yes, Jay. Okay.
Go for it.
What I can bring out from what Melissa Luisa said is that conflicts do exist, and conflict is a better way for us to grow. That no one should shy from conflict. That she has learned a lot, and that we are here together to grow. and that as she's speaking, she might be speaking from experience, that we should not shy away from conflict, but welcome conflict and work it out. Check.
Louisa, does that properly convey what you were trying to communicate?
Yes, partially. Maybe I'll just add one more thing, Ate, that we should look at how to create a better containers for us to feel safe to welcome that personal growth, right? So the container is also very important. We need to I personally, I'm really sorry to hear that Alberto is not feeling well grounded in this session, that he's very stressed out, and I would like to ask him, how can we make you feel safer to express your points, to open up and let us work this stress together.
Cool. So the best way to do that is with a request. If you had a request, you can state that. Otherwise, we'll get to Alberto and we'll go through the process. Okay.
Okay.
Ate, do you want to finish repeating back what you heard Luisa say? So we want to repeat back what Luisa said at the final part here. Also, I'm just going to add, even if it wasn't a request, Alberto, I think it's a team request, to create safe space, right? So that is, I'll just note it down here as a team request. It's not necessarily to a specific person, but it's just good to note that that's what I heard from Luisa. Ate, do you want to repeat back the rest of what Luisa just
Yes.
said?
Okay. Melissa said we should look at how to create a better container, like a better environment for us to feel safe, and that we should
Stand up, stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
Keep going, Ate. We'll start till
okay.
you're done.
Yeah, as I said, she said it was better for us to create a better container, like a safe environment for us to work on, and to equally welcome personal growth and team growth, and that she requested that she feels sad when Alberto is not feeling fine for to work and stress out.
Great. Luisa, is that convey what you were trying to communicate? Is that correct?
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Okay.
Ate.
We are going to take a 30-second stretch, and then when we come back, we'll get the next person here. I don't know, either Mel, Alberto, so 30-second stretch. Okay. So who would like to go next? I mean, for me, I think it should either be Alberto or Mel. I think I'm the only other person. Oh no, and then there's Joyce. So it'd be either me, Joyce, Alberto, or Mel.
I suggest that man goes first.
Okay, so Alberto is requesting that Mel would go first.
Yes.
Are you willing to do that, Mel, or would you prefer me or Joyce to go first?
I'm requesting Jay. I want to hear and Joyce go first, but I can honor that request and go first as well too. But I also think it's nice to see what Joyce and Jay you guys have to say, because you're a little bit more neutral in the situation, and then definitely me and Alberta will have our turn, and we have a lot to say. But I can honor that request if Alberto, you really want me to go next.
Either way is fine with me. I mean, we'll all get a chance to talk multiple times as needed.
I suggest now.
What, Joyce?
Yeah, I suggest now that we go ahead and hear from Mel or Alberto, and then we can just comment
Yeah, but
afterwards.
Pause.
okay.
Please stop.
So
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
okay, so my recommendation is that we'll do like a halfway. I'll go first, and then we're gonna have Mel, then Alberto, then Joyce, then we'll go back to Ate, and then Luisa. All right, so that'll be our order. That sound good? Did I miss anybody?
Yes, sounds good.
Yeah,
Oh,
that,
Well,
that that works for me. Yeah.
yeah. So Ate was number 1, Luisa's number 2, I'll be number 3, and then Mel, then Alberto, and then Joyce. Cool. So I mean, for me, I agree with Joyce that here. So I'm gonna go next. So I certainly agree with Joyce that basically, I have um, responses that I would obviously like to hear back from Mel and Alberto first, and then all that. But for me, I think the two things that are important to say is that one, obviously things are difficult, and that everyone has made mistakes, including myself. I feel part of the contention. Like, I feel like I'm in the middle of things. Sure, I'm more neutral, but I'm still involved in the process and many times facilitating. And these things happen, under my watch as mentor and CEO and everything. But obviously, you can't control, all our emotions and everything. It is what it is. But I will say that, you know, Alberto being involved for a long time and being the whole year and growing and getting, a lot of skills, a lot of, knowledge and learning and applying it, you have gone through a lot of difficulties and there's been previous contentions. Obviously, Mel has also had previous contentions with Stacy and other things going on. And Mel have been involved for decades. So, in that context, there is a kind of equality there. Obviously, Alberto hasn't been involved as long, but the amount of time he's been involved over the last year and a half kind of makes up for some of that. So in the context of Mel, you've made some mistakes and you've said things that were obviously maybe not as professionally as like. Obviously you've broken policies, and we can go over those as needed. But I haven't necessarily seen anything that's just like so overly outrageous that it's just like too much. And I feel like, in my perspective, that Alberto, sometimes I feel like there can be a bit of a, how would you say, a
Pause that
standard.
breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
But you can make a standard. It's not just Mel. I mean, you talk about all of the workers in the team, and you'll say all of the problems. It's so easy to see problems in others, and then you go on and on and on about all the problems, and then at the end, I'm basically like, okay, and you're also doing that too, and we need to start with ourselves and fix ourselves following the policies before we're sitting here complaining about other people not following the policies, right? So I feel like for me that's a very similar to this, where it's like, if you go back a year and a half ago, the first month that you got involved and all the policies that you were missing are probably you were making many more mistakes and breaking way more policies than Mel is after a month of her being involved internally to the team. And so you're setting a very high standard because you are so high level and more skilled and have understanding the policies better than probably anyone else than myself. And so it can take just takes time for people to learn and understand. It doesn't necessarily happen in one time, obviously, but usually it doesn't take months. Sometimes it takes years, So there is a lot of patience in this game and in this process and in this profession of transformation and trying to make the world a better place. So I'll just stop there. Check. So does anyone want to repeat back more or less what I said?
Can
Also, can I just I'll just add
I?
one thing. Yeah, you can repeat back to me. Lisa, but I'll just add one last thing, which is just that, I think Mel knows that, there's certainly things that you could have done more professionally, and it's like just biting your tongue and not engaging and responding, but it's so hard not to do that. I mean, it takes like, master level consciousness to just not, respond and disengage. It's just so hard. Anyways, check. Moving on to Luisa to repeat what I said, if you want.
Sure, let me try. um, so, you said that it's, we're all humans, we're all make mistakes, and you yourself also make mistakes, and it's really hard to control, emotions when the conversations are heating up, and there are things that are triggering, are triggering us. And both Melissa and Alberto have been for a long time. Mel has put in maybe years of work, but Alberto in the last few months has grown a lot, and he was very involved. So both are really contributing a lot in this project. And Mel has broken policies, and as well as Roberto has broken policies. So I think the point is try to be compassionate with each other, and not to have too high of an expectations. And then, when you have high expectations, this is my sorry bracket. Can I add some? No, maybe not. Um, so don't
No.
have high expectations on others. Thank you. And then perhaps we do have to work on our communications in a way that is non-violent. Does it kind of
Yeah,
summarize what you said? Okay,
perfect. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
All right. So that brings us to Mel.
I hear some static in the back. I don't know who that is.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe everyone can mute.
Yeah, that's right. It should be from my side.
Yeah, can everyone just mute if you're not talking? Great. Is that better, Mel?
yeah. Okay,
I
so
think it's from
overall,
Mel.
okay. Wait, I think you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Fine.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm really gonna try to use the guidelines and do it kind of in this order. So I'll take some of my own notes too. But how I'm feeling is that I don't feel as triggered as it seems like Alberto is, because my intention for decades is to support J, FQN, CCC, SVG, and then all this supports GCG, which is my the business. And so thank you, Louisa, Tay, and Jay, for talking and holding the safe space. I do feel supported. I feel like this is a container for it. But coming in and observing, I read the Discord comments Alberto made. And then even today, you being at a 1.7, I mean, you're a human. I feel bad that you feel so bad and stressed and upset, right? And overall, I'm personally busy trying to move forward on all fronts. And my request is basically to have clear next steps moving forward and clear expectations. And basically, there are different departments, different responsibilities. I think a big triggering thing where I don't know if I don't know if everyone on this call knows it, but I definitely triggered Alberto several sessions ago, maybe 3 sessions ago, where he felt like he was going to faint. And then we had to go over policies, and websites is a very triggering thing. It seems like you want to work a lot on finances, assets, client work. I don't think that we all need to be in a session for websites, like maybe decision making, but the technicality of the last session was basically very triggering. The timeline was we were talking, and then we had 15 to 20 minutes, and then it took way too long. You had to like sell your stock. It just went over time, right? And that led to that basically led to both of us not ending the call very well. But just so the team knows, I started really, I was invited to consider SVG and joining as a partner back December. So we've been working together for the last 6 months, really. And I don't feel like I thought everyone was great on the team, and we've not had a contention, particularly into the last few weeks. Just basically the last few weeks. And a lot has shifted in Alberto's life. Like, I mean, I can understand you're selling your business, you're thinking about relocation. You've just come in, you just turned in from a worker into a client as well too. There's a lot of dynamics that has changed, and power dynamics I see with more money invested in the company now. There's a lot that is going on that has shifted on your end, as well too. But basically, so everyone knows, everyone has seen the budget. I came in because I wanted to work on SVG, help you guys launch the website. You guys decided umbrella website. There's a pipeline for websites, but my core commitment to Jay and focus over the last 15, 20 years has been on the nonprofits. And CCC just got its legal status, and following up with Joel, scaling CCC as a revenue source to support the whole network was my primary intention as a volunteer, and it's always been volunteer, up until just this month. That's 6 months of hours that I've gotten paid $0, right? And I'm even open to doing that because I get paid through Good Cause Group, the business, which is supported and sponsored under FQN. But I don't actually expect to be in the budget no matter how many hours I put in, and I've told Jen Alberto this several times. But to put in all these hours, trying my best to follow policies. I've been doing policy keeping or tracking, but it's like also you guys should know I am 100% have been a volunteer, and this is not how you treat. I don't when I treat my volunteers, whether or not it's board members or just plain volunteers, just without formal titles. I mean, I really do value volunteers because they could be focused on other income generation, but it's because volunteers join causes oftentimes because they're very aligned with the mission, and it's something like that's soul aligned and they're passionate about. Volunteers don't do it for money, and I have gotten paid $0 to date, even though it says I'm in the budget for 1,000. Nothing's happened, right? And I don't actually expect that moving forward. But I just wanted to say that and check.
Jay, are you there?
I'm the one you guys can't hear. Duh. Okay, so what I was saying was that I would request that Alberto responds back to Mel and repeats back what she said in your summary. If you're able to, you're not being forced to do this. If you don't want to do it, just let us know.
I would prefer not to.
You prefer not to. Okay, so would like someone else like to repeat back what you heard Mel say? Tay, Joyce, if neither of you want to do it, I'll do it. I mean,
Okay, I'll try to repeat what Mel
okay.
said.
Joyce, don't worry, it was a lot. So typically you would
Yeah.
cut them off like 2 or 3 times for all that, but just summarize as best you can.
Yeah. To summarize what Mel said, she started with she does feel safe, okay, here, and this is a safe container, she said. So she's felt bad that Alberto is feeling bad, but the ones that triggered their I hello, can you hear me?
Yes, mhm.
Okay, so shall I repeat?
Keep going.
Go ahead, Joyce. You're doing great.
Okay. I thought so Mel said that the ones that triggered their contentious was the websites, which is technically I mean the technicality of that one was the one that triggered their contentious session. So it's better that he said that it's like what's that called? And what else did you say? And also, you were working with Jay for like a long time, and you were supporting him for
I
the
just
non-support,
that
non-profit.
is recession.
Yeah, and you've been working with Jay and supporting him with the non-profit works, and only for the last 6 months that you've been involved, like as paid, and also, yeah, as paid worker. And then you understand that in Alberto's life, there has been many things that have been happening the past months with Alberto's life, like his other business and all.
European,
And huh?
saying that he was hurting.
I cannot hear you well. Okay.
He was saying
So
that that could be an opinion. I mean,
It's
I
hurting.
I think it's borderline also an observation. I mean, you yourself have said that a lot of things are going on. I mean, you describe. I mean, I think relative to like a normal person, there's a lot going on, but sure. But either way, Mel did a pretty good job sticking to the statements and observations, all that. That obviously she did make a few mistakes, but she also made some mistakes and then corrected herself as well. But overall, it was okay. It wasn't perfect. So Alberto is saying that that is an opinion related to the fact that he's going through a lot in his personal life. All right, continue, Joyce.
Well, no, I just want to say that my observation is that he did, in fact, become a client, and the opinion of saying, yeah, power dynamics is different, right?
Yeah,
And you have been
correct.
saying a lot has been going on, but yeah.
Yes,
So
Correct. Yeah.
correct.
go ahead, Joyce.
yeah, what else? And then yeah, and also you said that you've been working as a volunteer, and you said that you don't treat volunteers like that. And then and what else? So yeah, that's all I got from it. You should not be treating volunteers like that.
Cool. And I think it's also clear you're making it clear that you weren't expecting money and all that kind of stuff. So Mel, did we repeat back everything more or less to what you would think you had heard? What you were trying to say?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
great.
And
So
my request is,
wait,
if I
wait,
go
wait,
on too
wait.
long, then
Wait.
basically, we could cut it into shorter sessions for the repeat back part.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We should
Time to
definitely do that as
pause.
best we can.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Without necessarily be a request, that's just like hoping that people stop and create breaks, or I don't know, it can be difficult. But the bottom line is that you can continue if you want to, Mel, but we're going to take a break because we missed our break. We're going to have a 5 minute break, or let's do a 3 to 4 minute break. And then when we come back, Mel, if you have something you want to add, you can. If you don't, we're going to go on to Alberto. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. 3 to 4 minute break.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
I'm back.
All right. I'm back. Is Mel back?
Me too. Yeah.
Would you have anything you want to add, Mel?
No, not at the moment. Unless, yeah, no.
Okay, so we're ready to go to Alberta. I will say, need to add. Everyone wanted to talk. Alberta was requesting other people talk. As facilitator, might have just gone straight to Alberta, but other people wanted to talk. So we're now at Alberta going last, which is perfectly fine. And my hope is that this will help, release and help you relax some to get out what you want to say. But typically, it might take a couple rounds or time, a couple days or whatever next week. But Alberta, this is your time and space to say whatever you want. If you can
Okay,
kind of stop in between so we can repeat back, it's good. But yeah, go for it. It's your turn.
I'm ready. So, I have three things to say. First, that in general, the whole
Stop. Close your
contributor,
eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4. Open your eyes.
the whole contributors don't understand what we're trying to do here, and where we want to go, and the amount of work that we must move forward. We want to have even the slightest of chance to make an impact in this world, which is totally upside down, and where millions and millions and millions of innocents and pure souls suffer every second of every day, always. So, this is the first thing. Second, Mel is right when she says that as a volunteer, in my opinion, right? She said, as a volunteer, this and that. But to me, as required, as expected, as embedded by the model, the systems that we have in place and that we have worked, and we keep on working without stop, because we know that these systems, these models, these methods are the only chance that I personally know there is in the world to try to steer it beyond destruction. I consider Jay the modern salvator, and I am committed with all my power, with all my soul, and with whatever I can, I will, and I may think I'm going to be able to give support to Jay to bring this, to manifest this impact that I believe it's in our hands to make possible. So, Mel is right that she said she's a volunteer or is GSCG founder, and but at the exact moment when she has been approved in the budget as a core team member and worker, everything changed. And this is the second thing. The third thing is a request, because I would like to know what happened that has created the situation where, in my opinion, Mel has started to behave.
Let's try to stick to I statements and observations.
I said, in my opinion. Yeah.
Well, we understand, but the goal is to not be doing that. But just keep going.
Yeah, I had observations where she kept picking on me. There was always a good. Every opportunity to pick on me was good. Every time that I was saying something, I had the observation that she was just trying to go against it, and this, I believe, in my position, started when I had that huge downfall once she has worked and created all by herself without any communication those templates, websites with FQB on. From there, in my observation, things started where, even though during the session I was saying that I was not feeling well, and the only thing that really could help me feeling better was for her to do policy tracking, it was a hard effort, in my opinion, in my observation, for Jay and I to get her to do policy tracking. And from there on, my observations, every moment was good to pick on Alberto. Every moment was good to go against Alberto. Every moment was good to just not listen to anything Alberto was trying to say or was trying to bring to the table. So these are my three things. Thank you for the attention.
So that last part, you're saying that your observation was that every time that Alberto was trying to say something that Mel wasn't, that you just felt that she wasn't listening?
I'm saying that I would like to understand why she suddenly became an enemy or to me, right?
Okay, so that you felt like you were an enemy. Felt
kind
like
of, yeah. I mean, every time from
okay.
from then on, my observation is that every time we had the session, there was some.
Yes. Okay, and so the only other thing I would challenge you on, Alberto, is, are there any other words that could express how you felt from that? How you personally feel or
The
felt?
problem, my biggest problem is that people may not understand me or may don't believe in what I say. they may have different opinions, but in my understanding, somebody's telling you that it's not feeling well. Please, can you do policy tracking? Please, can you do policy tracking? Please, can you do policy tracking? Please, 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 please. This, I do not understand why it was so difficult. That finally it happened, but obviously from there on, in my opinion, in my observation, from there on, there was something that I don't take anything personal because I have much bigger things to think, but obviously there's something happened. Like we have many examples during life support where she was speaking on me, and also other times. And in general, you can see that anything that I mean, every time I was trying to say something or express a concept, she was always interrupting me. She was always talking software. She was always saying that I already know what you want to say. You know what you want to say. Let me finish. Oh, then. I mean, I can make a lot of examples, but it's not.
Okay. Well,
this is what I want to go in detail. This is my request. I
Okay.
want to understand what happened. I want to see what happened. Why?
Yeah. Okay.
With the premises that they made, right? And to me, we have a vision that is the most important thing because I believe we have the power to
Okay.
do everything. Second,
So,
she joined the core team. Everything changed.
Okay. So Alberto,
I'm done. Check.
so we're gonna try to repeat back for you, and you will get a more chance to add to this as needed. But I just want to ask one thing. You said there was a request. Can you state the request again clearly? Because I didn't quite get the request.
My request is to go back, analyze why these observations that I have are either true or I'm having a misunderstanding or there is some truth or whatever there is. Because in my observation, her attitude towards me has became very closed.
Okay. So that again would be an opinion, but you already stated all of your observations.
My request to do a team analysis, team assessment for
got
that.
it. Yeah. All right, cool, awesome. I understand the request. So that's partly what we're doing now, and that's part of this contentious issue, but we will reconsider the request in more detail afterwards as well. So Mel, I would challenge you, if you are willing to repeat back what you heard in your own words from Alberto. Obviously, you're not forced to do this. You can wait or let someone else do it. But I'm going to ask if you want to.
I can do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Mel, just do your best to repeat back. You're welcome to do one at a time, but you can do the whole thing if you want to. There's like 3 parts.
Yeah, there are 3 parts, but the first part I'm hearing from Alberto is a lot of passion about understanding the real gravity and how serious the state of the world is, and millions are indeed suffering. I also feel that way about humanity right now. It's a very dark time but also exciting, because that's why we're a team together. We're trying to come together and do a lot of work. Well, you also say the team doesn't really understand how much work is going to be required to get to that level of making impact. But I know that there's a lot of work involved, right? The second thing you kind of say is that you now understand that I have been a volunteer, but there are systems and policies that you need to be followed, and they're the reason why there's policies, and you're so confident in the systems and models of FQN that you really want to make sure everyone follows policies. I get it. It's a big deal. And then you highly respect Jay and admire Jay, and as do I. It sounds like many people, everyone on the team does acknowledge and respect Jay as the founder, and he basically it wouldn't be here without Jay. I have huge admiration for Jay. We do share that. I only recently got added into the core budget as a core team member for this month or last month, and then basically $0 next month. And we're thinking $500 moving forward. That can change as soon as I change my pop, though. Next is your third request is the third one one is fascinating is because you're saying that I've been a big bully ever since you got back from your vacation with your baby mama. I remember that shift. You took a break. I took some time to develop and design the websites, and then that made you very upset. And on that call, Jay was there to witness. It's in the call notes. I did do the policy tracking in live time and the next day, you know. But you said it was a huge effort and to get me to do it in real time on Discord. But I did end up doing it, and it's fascinating to hear that you think that I think that you're my enemy. So I feel like this is a team. I don't know about enemies or competition or anything like that. But you've so then basically you feel like I bully you. I'm specifically picking on you. I don't let you finish your points. I do listen for hours and hours to you, Alberto, over a long time, but I hear that that's your opinion, and then your big request is really to are you being crazy? Can the team give feedback? Is this objective? Are you having a meltdown? Is it other stress in life? Or am I actually really that disrespectful, hate you enough to create a contention on purpose? Check. Did I do that? Anyone want to add? Yeah.
So
Yeah, Alberto, did Mel summarize correctly what you were trying to say for your 3 parts?
kind of, right?
Kind of. So which part do you think needs the most work?
All right. So
Part 1, 2, or 3?
3 things.
Wait, all 3 things, or these 3 new
No.
things?
3 things that I would like to correct.
Okay, 3 things that Alberto wants to correct. Great.
Yeah.
Yep.
First is that. All right, let's go with the easiest one. All right, I don't say that I feel that you think that I'm your enemy. I say that I feel that you have become an enemy. All right, first.
Which is
Oh,
an opinion,
okay. I
right?
think
That would be the definition of opinion, right?
Yeah, it's my feeling. It's my feeling, not that you think. You said that. Said that. I said that I think that I am an enemy to you. No, I think that I feel that you have become an enemy to me. Okay, like you're trying. I feel that you're trying to make us do things the way that you want, instead of trying to make an effort to do things the way that are built in order to work and be successful. And this is okay to me until you're a volunteer, you're outside of the core of the system. But once you become, and this is the second thing that she didn't mention very clearly, I believe, is that once you become part of the core team, everything changes in my perspective, in the way that I see you, the way that I feel you, and the way that I need for you to be a functional component of the system. And third thing is that we share respect for Jay. I said, this must be very clear, that I believe, I feel in my guts, that Jay is the modern time savior. Because this, what Jay has envisioned, because Jay is giving us the privilege and the honor to implement and to make work, and now it's finally doing what it was starting, it's just starting, barely starting, to do what it was supposed to do, and it's just unbelievable, beyond anything that I could have ever even imagined when I was a kid reading romances of Wilbur Smith and this kind of things. So these 3 things, I think, were not very clearly explained.
Great. So Mel, can you repeat back those 3 additional things, please?
yes. The first thing is that you perceive me as your enemy now, as a feeling, and that I want to control things and do it the way that I want things to be done. And basically, your perception or expectations have changed when I got included for the first time in the core budget. So your perspective changed or your expectations changed. And then secondly, I think that was second. And then thirdly, you have called Jay the modern day savior and Jesus Christ, the equivalent of that. And it's been a privilege to work with him. I think that's it.
No, I think it's
Check.
not. No. I've
Okay.
never called Jesus Christ. I I never done that. I said I didn't say it now. I don't know if it's relevant now, but I said previously that the only figure in human history, alive or dead, that I could even start trying to make a comparison with Jay, it could be Jesus Christ. Obviously, they're very different, but the way, I mean, I don't even, Jesus Christ is obviously an invented figure, right? Jesus Christ is the Son.
Okay.
The anthropologization of the Son. Anyway,
Okay.
it's relevant.
Okay. Wonderful. So, Mel, can you repeat that last
Yeah,
part? That's so
I
silly
know
being
you
compared
use
to
the
Jesus Christ.
word
It's so silly. You can't stop that.
modern day savior, which
Yes,
you have said in
yes,
the past
modern
on a
day.
call with savior. You said modern day savior, and you said to Charles in the intake interview in front of Jay that he was like the equivalent of Jesus Christ.
Yes,
To
yes.
you.
Well, he's saying that
Yes.
he's comparing. He's comparing, not saying that I am, but he's comparing.
The equivalent of what Jesus Christ was
But
for
either,
humanity, the equivalent of what Jesus
but either way,
to him. Yeah.
either way, obviously, by definition, that is an opinion, and let's
I
try to
think.
focus on the observations and the such. So the observation is that yes, those things were said. I think you're ready to move on. Is that sound more or less correct, Alberto?
Yeah,
For what Mal repeated,
that is correct.
was that a yes?
Yes, yes, that is
Okay,
correct.
great. So now, Alberto, do you want to continue and say more? Or anything you want to add at this time? Okay, come back.
I think I've said enough at this point.
Okay, so basically at this point, it is Joyce's turn. Joyce will get us around the entire circle. And then at that point, we'll see about if people want to check out or where people are at. Because obviously this is keep going on, but other than that, we could start another round and go around again. Usually the second round goes a lot faster, but Joyce, it is your turn.
Okay. So as I see it, it's just normal really to have, burst out of emotion sometimes. It happens everywhere, even in the families, right? So maybe in that situation when they were together, maybe it already built up in their chest. The it's already there, but they were just controlling for the past previous days or
So
what they've
Joyce,
been, huh?
I'm going to challenge you to try to speak in I statements and observations, right? Because you keep saying
Okay.
your, them. So just try to observe and anyways, I'm just challenging you, but to continue, you're doing great.
Okay. I sorry. So yeah. I observed that maybe that we are how can I say that it's normal, right, to have this burst of emotions. Understandable because really we're just human and we're very weak, and you know so but we can go on and go on with all these emotions and all, but and still we will not be able to end it, if we keep on if I don't know how to say the I statement,
Your opinion.
Oh yeah, it's very
in my
difficult, right?
opinion. Okay, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
we're
Okay.
just challenging you. It's very difficult to learn how to speak with non-violent communication, but just keep trying. You're doing great. You're doing great.
Yeah, so what I think is that, okay, we already said what we want to say. Okay, So I hope that's enough to let it all out, whatever you have in your heart, in your mind, and then just try to go on, to move on, forget about. It's hard, yeah, it's hard, but it takes it takes a lot of courage and humbleness to really do that. To for the sake of, if I really want to go on, so I must stop there, right? So that's my opinion. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think I cannot express. Okay,
I
No,
but
you
can
that's
did.
my
repeat back.
opinion.
No,
Yeah, that's
you
my
did. You
opinion.
did really good. You did really good, Joyce. Really, really good. So,
Okay.
speaking in I statements, you know, using observations, doing request. I mean, even something as simple as a request can actually be extremely difficult to actually word something in the phrase of a request. So these are all challenges. It's not easy. These are skills that people learn over time. You did great, Joyce. Would anyone like to repeat back what they heard Joyce say?
I can repeat back
Mel.
what Joy said. So basically, Joyce, you're saying you've encountered it in families and workplaces. It's very normal to have emotional outbursts, but and that you can tell from today's session that it's built up over previous sessions, right? This and basically we know we want to move on productively and that still I think yeah, we want to be able to end serious contention, and basically you did mention courage. Everyone, it takes courage and humbleness to get on with this and not be stuck with this. So I don't know if that's good enough, but check. Yeah.
Joyce, do you feel that Mel repeated correctly back what you were trying to say?
Um, um, yeah, a little. Yes, yes.
Yes? Or was there something that you wanted to correct?
I don't have anything to correct, but
Okay. Is there anything you would
he
like
said
to
what
add? Is there anything you'd like to add? Anything else you want to say?
mm, I want to say that it's really hard to forget everything, to forget your emotions and all. But I want to say that it hurts to admit that I don't know if I will accept what I say, but forget the pride, forget the pride, whatever you have, whatever. If you really want to do the work for Jade, what he's saying, trying to say, it must start from us, right? So if you want peace, it must start from yourself, right? In ourselves. So I think this is enough. You burst already whatever you want to say. So just pray for it, to forget about everything. It's really hard as a human, but that's how to go on. That's my opinion.
Okay. So again, just challenge you guys, we're trying to do observations, we're trying to do requests, we're trying to do I statements and stuff like that. So ending with that's my opinion is fine, but just trying to challenge you guys. So who would like to finish
Okay. Okay.
repeating back what Joyce said?
I can go.
Okay, Louisa, just repeat back what you heard Joyce said, just the last little bit.
Yes. So I heard that in order to make the change that we want to see in the world, we must embody that change. So if you want to see a better world, peaceful, in harmony, you must be that peace and that harmony first. And so, it's definitely challenging, but it's possible. And give yourself the time, to get there. Just, be positive that you will succeed and we will succeed. Is that right, Joyce?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect.
Okay, check.
Okay. Awesome. So we did really, really good. We got through the entire round of everybody. And so that brings us back to Ate. So, but before we go to Ate, a couple things. One, If anyone wants to check out at this time, obviously it's perfectly fine to check out, right? Because this is already a very long session and it could also continue to go. Two, now that we've completed one round, typically what happens is we would do a second round. The second round typically goes faster. And then eventually what will happen is, we get to the point where you don't really need to do the repetition because everything's calmed down a little bit. But I want to make sure it's clear that, opinions could go on forever. I statements, observation, requests, right? How you feel. There's only so much you can say because then eventually there's nothing else to say, right? It's like that. There's a very limited amount of information. So would anyone like to check out? That said, wait, one other thing. After we get through this nonviolent communication process, then we start the process of going through all of the issues, all of the policies, and understanding the whole, more of the analysis, like as Alberto was saying. And basically, that process might not start today. So, for me, there's not an end. There's not like a point where we are basically, yeah, you can check out whenever you want to, Lisa. There's not like a point where it's just like, everyone just forgets everything and this is done. The goal is like, eventually the process will stop when it's no longer a priority. But obviously right now it's a priority. We need to continue to schedule. Most likely it'll be Wednesday next week in Andromeda Hour 2. And then this would continue. So technically we could literally stop right now and we can just pick it up again, next week or whenever we get back to it. But I think everybody is pretty committed to a second round. Does anyone want to check out at this time before we do the second round? And that will bring us to Ate.
I would like.
Ate's not here.
Alberto,
Yeah.
what are you saying?
I would like to check out.
Oh, Alberto wants to stop.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there any reason that you want to stop?
Yeah, I think this is very painful to me, so I would like to keep it contained and agree that we can take it back next Wednesday. I would like to get back in reasoning so that we can get to work. Maybe we have covered in 1.5 hours approximately. So, but I can go another segment if we think that it's important that we keep going another segment.
Okay, so I think that we could do both. I feel like right now the primary request is to make sure there's agreement on continuing, that this is a difficult process, that this is not something that's just going to magically go away in 20 minutes, an hour, right? So does anyone have an objection of continuing this next week? Wednesday, Andromeda Hour 2 is the ideal time because that's what we already have scheduled for contentious sessions.
No objections.
So the proposal,
Yeah.
Mel, what'd you say?
No, yeah, I think we did a lot today, and then next Wednesday at the same time, would be good too. Or, Andromeda.
Great. Okay. So are there any questions of continuing contentious situation Wednesday Andromeda Hour 2?
No questions.
Great. Any concerns? Any objections? So this is just a scheduling proposal, not a big deal, but we have consensus. So what I would propose is that we would do one more round. And in this round, I'm going to be a little bit more forceful as a facilitator and really focus on the challenge. So for example, Ate's not here, but let's say Ate was here. I would say, Ate, do you have any observations, I statements, or requests that you have not heard yet? And if there's nothing she can think about, we don't need to sit here and listen to Ate talk about her opinions for 20 minutes. She says, no, I have no other I statements, observations, or requests that haven't already been said. And then there's nothing more that Ate needs to say, so that takes 30 seconds and we go on to the next person. Does everyone understand? So this should go pretty quickly unless there's a lot that has not been heard yet, in which case it's very important to hear it. So
Can I ask request, Jay? Would you be able to go first this round?
well, no one's required to speak at all. So if Atay's not here and you want to pass, we can go to me.
I would like to say something, but I'm not sure if it's the right format.
Well, that's why we're here. This is the whole idea, is the challenge. It's like I want to, as a, you know, I've been doing this for decades, right? So it's like, you know, I'll work with you and we can try to practice, because it's so important to learn these skills and understand it, because it makes working as a team so much better when people understand how to communicate in a way that's nonviolent. Okay. So do you want to start, Lisa? And Atay's not here, right? Can everyone confirm Atay's not here? All right, so we're going to do Lisa, and then we're going to go.
He made a statement in Discord.
Oh, she did? She said something in Discord? Where? Oh, I am seeing
Yes. Yes.
What did I miss?
In
activity team? Here we go. Very sorry, internet package someone's expired. The connection is basically because it's weak. Currently in which the decision is happening. Please, guys, should keep it that way. Okay, so she was happy that everything seemed to be calm, going well. All right, so I put that into the checkouts for Atay. Great. Okay, so Luisa, your turn. And again, I'm challenging you to use I statements, state observations, how it made you feel, and to make requests. I don't know if someone wants to help with the timekeeping, but maybe, you know, when we get to the 3 minutes, like to try to stop at 3 minutes.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so maybe I'll like to start with some observations.
Sure, 2 to 3 minutes. If you can help with timekeeping, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'd like to start with some observations, which is that I feel both Mel and Alberto really care about the project, and they're contributing, you know, really their best, and there are definitely communication styles that are clashing. So perhaps we can all learn, indeed, through this practice, how to communicate better with each other, even difficult feelings. And then I would like to make a request to both of you, Mel and Alberto, to let us know what do you need in order to forgive each other.
What?
Check.
The request was what you need to forgive each other. Is that what you said, right?
Yeah, or like, you know, what does it need to happen in order to move to the next? Like, what do you need to feel better, you know, leaving this session?
Or just in general? Yeah, great. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Would someone like to repeat back to Luisa what you heard?
Yeah, okay. Luisa said that she observed that Mel and Alberto really care about the project, and they are contributing their best. And also, she said that that perhaps we can learn how to communicate with each other, and what shall we do that so that you what do you need is asking Alberto. So you no, what do you both need to forgive each other? So that's her question. So that's it.
Is that correct, Luisa?
Yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, my turn. So I would start with I mean, I think one observation that I have is that when I listen to Alberto, it can feel very, not necessarily intense is not the right word. It's like very, you know, rhythmic in the context of like, you know, very strong energy, right? And for me, that can be, you as a experienced global organizer, the most important thing is understanding intercultural communications, inter-worldview communications, right? And it doesn't matter what you say. All that matters is how it's perceived. All that matters is how what you're saying is perceived by others. That's all that matters. And what's so difficult is that because there's hundreds, if not thousands, of cultures across the world, every single culture and every vocabulary term, every person's going to perceive something slightly differently, right? So when we're talking and communicating, we have to kind of let go of the idea that what we're saying is an exact thing, because it's literally and scientifically not. It's a perception, because the perception is what the other person is going to understand from what is said, which is why nonviolent communication, the repeating back, is literally the most important part. Because it doesn't matter what someone says, all that matters is what the other person perceives, right? And through repeating things back and going back and forth until there is understanding on both sides, there really is not being heard, right? It can't be heard. So for me, that can be a little bit mechanical. It can be a little one-sided, right? In the context for for Mel, obviously Mel has a very specific culture in terms of her work style, her work ethics, her getting things done, like moving forward quickly, and sure, that skips details, and the faster you go and the more expert you are on something, sometimes that's also the exact same process where you can skip how other people feel because you're going so fast that you're basically, you're already skipping ahead and the other people are left behind and they don't know what happened, right? So I think it goes on both sides on that, where you can get in this cycle of kind of an automatic response, where you're not really slowing down and relating at the human level. Personally speaking, what I always say and what I've always said and I will always continue to say is that FQN and FQV and the Unity Network and everything that I have done and everything I stand for does not have the solutions to solving the problems of the world, which is why what we do is support anyone across the world to bring their own solution. And we create a framework to build up any group or collaborative team that wants to make a change in the world, because that could be the answer. Because I don't know if anyone else has the answer. And the way I define the criteria of being a solution is that it's already solved the problem. So for me, the definition of a solution is that it already worked. If there's a hypothetical where something might be successful in the future, it's not a solution, it's just an option. Even after implemented, even after you've done it for decades, even after it looks like it might work, it could still fail. Until it actually is verifiably done what it's supposed to do, it's not actually the solution yet. So for me, it's very important to tone down the rhetoric, to tone down, and be at an equal level, an equal playing field, that everybody is equal, that we are not perfect, and we don't necessarily know if the policies and the solutions we have now are the right ones, but they are what we have and the best thing we have right now. And they're based on a lot of the past. Because not just me, I just learn and I incorporate and work on it. So for me, that's very, very important to, we're all human beings, we're all normal people. Sure, we're trying to do extraordinary things, but the whole point is that anyone can do it if they just apply themselves and work together as teams. So the only other request and just kind of, thing that I'll say for now, because there's so much more that needs to, I could go on and on and on, is that, one of the things that I hear is that people are totally committed. They really want to see the world be put in place, that they are willing to put in dozens and dozens of hours, sometimes in a day, which is just crazy, By the way, 6 hours is our limit for full-time work. Once you get over 6 hours in a day, you're going to overtime. But so the request is simply to create space and hear me out at some point in the future and now on what I would call the highest level calling of spiritual, conscious, energetic practice. Because my understanding and belief systems in the universe and beyond are that there are infinite levels of consciousness, infinite levels. And as a being of consciousness, that we have the capability through energy frequencies to shift our consciousness and experience and connect with other levels of consciousness than the normal, let's call it boring physical world around us. And without going into all the details, which is why my request is that we spend time on this at another time, the way that you would define the interconnection of many of those other levels of consciousness with our own physical bodies is emotional energy. And in the context of that energy going through our very small human bodies, we can only take so much, right? And so the practice would be at the highest level. It's like when you are a baby, you have to learn how to crawl, right? Babies do not run, right? They crawl,
Yes.
right? And so the idea at the highest level of practice is that when you have learned everything and you are the master of everything, you're the best of everything, the most important thing is to go back to the beginning and start crawling again. So I'll leave it at that. Yeah, I need a moment. Okay.
It'd be really hard to repeat what he said.
Shall we wait, Jay? Does he have a call?
He stepped out a second.
He
He
said a
has a
lot of
call.
families been, a lot of families been dropping in and out because of the dad, so he's just being interrupted. He'll come back. It looks like. Yeah, they're just coming back to us to help out with the dad now that the dad's at home now. But lots of people over apparently. So who wants to repeat back what Jay says? We'll wait till he gets back, but yeah. And who's taking notes to call him I and J? Is that you?
I'm the one.
Joyce.
I'm the one.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Because he it's a lot and he talks fast. So I tried my best on the other column too. So we have.
Hey, you guys should repeat or summarize what he said.
I'm back.
Okay.
You guys
Joyce,
want
you
me
want to
to
try?
for myself? Go for it, Mel.
No. You could do it, or Joyce, you want to try, or Alberta?
Is Jay finished?
Yeah, I'm done.
Jay?
Yeah. I mean, my request was simply to spend time talking about what I would say is the highest level spiritual practices, in terms of going back to the very, very beginning and focusing on
Yeah.
our level of consciousness that is very limited.
Yeah, that's the one also that I was about to say, to add that like go back to the basics always, right? Like I don't know if I make sense, but as I observe, the children forgive easily, right? So I don't know, just my observation.
Let your BB be your guru.
So that's why observation only that it's as you grow old, you are more stubborn, and yeah, That's life. That's man.
Okay, so I mean, I think for me the most important two things just to reiterate, so like because I think you missed them, was that I see both Alberto and Mel do a very specific pattern where you are creating not like a monotone, but creating a model that is the same, you know, and that you can come sometimes skip over the human aspect of communicating, connecting, and slowing down and being. But they do it differently. Alberto can sometimes be very like rhythmic exactness, where it's like this is it, you know, not necessarily realizing that there's literally 1,000 different ways to perceive what he's saying. And then Mel can sometimes be so fast paced and so just like boom, 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 that sometimes she skips over what other people. I'm the same way too, where sometimes I can talk too fast, you know, but typically I'm very patient and then I slow down again and I go backwards. I mean, Alberto's talking about being so frustrated, having to talk a dozen times and ask for the same thing. It's like, welcome to my world, Alberto. How many hundreds of times have I asked for like, you know, freaking, what do you call it? Umbrella notes, right? And I'll probably ask for it for another 100 times, but maybe one day it'll happen, you know? But so that's the first thing I said. And the second thing I said was basically just a request to, you know, work on, you know, going back to the beginning, going back to just simple, normal, just what's in front of us in terms of our very boring physical world. Yes. Check. All right. Can we move on to Mel? I think Mel's next, right? Yeah. Or does anyone want to try to repeat again what I was saying? But I think I'm fine. I'm not too worried about it. But go ahead to Mel.
I just want to add or repeat back. You know, I think that a lot of it is I want to try something new that you're saying, or you said on Discord too, is like a big cultural thing. Yes, me and Alberto are very different because we're different humans. I have a very specific style. You know, I think you're very hardcore with policies. That's my observation. Is that unless I follow it, it's triggering, right? And then I run my business completely differently. I know you don't like it, but basically it's very different. And also culturally, you come from a different background. I don't know what it's like to be Italian. You don't know what it's like to be American and raised in Silicon Valley, or just my whole education and background. You have a different one. So very different. It's like about how to get on the same page for this FQV or whatever product moving forward, whether it's a client, CCC, SVG, some collaboration. I don't know yet. We haven't gotten to next steps, but I do acknowledge Jay saying yes, cultural differences, different work styles. It's tone things down and just understand that we're all humans, and sometimes going back to the beginning and the basics is very important. So that's it. That's I don't have anything much to add at this point. I mean, yeah, other than like, what are the next steps, you know, besides the next Wednesday session?
Cool. So yeah, the next steps is kind of like the next topic. But we can also do some wrap up on that too. Alberto, can you repeat back what Mel just said? Could you do
I
that?
said that she acknowledges that a lot of this may be cultural. She doesn't know what she said that she doesn't know what it means to be Italian, and she says that I don't know what it means to be Silicon Valley, California. No, she didn't say California. America, growing up there. So she says that she agrees that many times, often, it's good to just go back at the basics. And yes, I believe this is basically what she has said.
Mel, does that sound correct in terms of Alberto's summary?
Yeah, that's very good, Alberto. Thank you. And I do want to add.
Yes. go
That
for it,
I
Mel.
am sorry you feel very bad and think I curse all the time, and whatever you said, but I don't want you to be in pain. I know this is a painful process, and it's very concerning to me that you have a 1.7, that's your mood. So I will be the first to say I am very sorry for offending you. I didn't mean to offend you. So, a part of me was like, I never meant to be a bully or say things very offensively to you. Even I can't apologize for my style, or I could do better because I can't apologize just for being me. But I do feel bad that you feel bad when I'm not taking it personally. It's work. To me, it's just work relations, and I'm not losing sleep. And I'm sorry if you are losing sleep. That's it.
So Mel,
If I can,
wait. We're gonna do a repeat back, but I do want to just do one last thing for you, Mel. Is that Luisa requested that, what would you need to feel better? Is there anything like that you would like, Mel, that to feel better? And then I also want Alberto to repeat back what you just said at the beginning. So I want to do both of those things.
I already feel better, so I don't need anything other than what we're doing, and then we have another session next Wednesday.
Okay,
So no.
perfect. That's what we want to know. Mel currently at this time does not say that she is requesting or need any specific thing from the team. So Alberto, I would like you to repeat back what Mel just said, and then when
yeah,
she's done, then we can go on to you.
yeah. She said that she feels sorry that that I feel bad, that I am a 1.7 for all the situation, and that
With that, okay, keep going.
yeah, I mean, she's concerned about that, and she's sorry she has offended me, and the fact that she said that the foundation is being a bully, and she can't really apologize about being herself. That's the way she is. And to her, it's just work relations.
Cool. So Mel, is that correct? What you said?
Yeah, yes, that was good. I
Yeah.
feel heard.
Cool. Is there anything else you need to add at this time, Mel? Any other
Nope, that's it.
observations or things? Okay, so now we're going back to Alberto.
Yes. So I want to make very clear. To me, it's nothing personal. I couldn't care less about Alberto being offended. I have been offended in a way that I don't know if you guys have any idea what it means to really be offended, to be in situations that are really, really, really concerning, right? So to me, it's nothing personal. To me, I have nothing personal. There's nothing to forgive, really. So, responding to Luisa, everything's forgiven. For me, there was never anything to be forgiven. There was never, I never felt that I needed any apology or anything. To me, the problem is not moving forward, right? So, to me, problem is, and the problem is that Mel, I don't know, but in my opinion, my observation, Mel says now that it's just work relations, and my observation, our work relation was wonderful. We were moving forward, we're doing work. I did that. I do understand their work style. I adapt, but as I said, and I think I'm going to repeat that because I think that's what we want to understand and analyze. I'd like the team to make an assessment what happened because this changed, obviously. And I may be wrong, but I have had the feeling, the perception that from men there was kind of a pre there was a pre attitude of going against me, right? So this chain, we've been working for many months. As men said we worked for 6 months. There was no problem. So at one point, problems have come. But I mean, I believe that from my point of view, the work relation can maintaining the same level because
Okay, so Alberto.
I'm very this to me this is very
So Alberto.
yeah.
So I just want to challenge you, right? So try to say what you just said, that you have your own perception, your own point of view. Try to say that as a observation. What makes you see that, and then how does it make you feel, right? So you want to express it in terms of I statements, and then what the observation was, and then how that made you feel in relationship to this, what you're calling something against you, right? Can you try to just challenge yourself to do it for
Yeah.
that particular statement?
Yeah. Me, the thing that I'm scared to move forward to do work with Mel is that given the environment that has been resulting from some time is that every time I know there's gonna be a session with Mel, I know that my observation of I know that things are not gonna be move forward. I know that things are gonna
But that again is a hypothetical opinion.
That's I mean, we
So-
made an
so
agreement
use
about
it-
WordPress 20
Use an
days ago,
example.
and then we
Just use
yeah.
an example of an
I have an
observation.
example right here. Right here, where I explain, I give an example, exact example.
Perfect.
Okay?
That's what we're here for. Observation. Let's hear it.
Perfect. Yeah, I have everything. Because everything that I say, I believe must be verified. Like the truth is only one. That's the good thing, and it's verifiable, right? So the other day was the pinnacle, right? We spent how much? 2 hours while discussing something that, in my perception, in my opinion, was already agreed to move forward. And because of that, I personally had no opportunity to do the client work where I wanted to prioritize other things that I believe are so much more important for us to move forward as an organization and to keep the momentum that we are having. Right. So I'm going here. I created a tab. I don't know if anybody saw it with Alberto and Mel here. I'm gonna link it here, and I put everything there very clear. Right. So I have apparent agreement to move forward. On that, we're stuck for 2 hours. But an apparent agreement, here's the storytelling. There is the notes. There is everything verifiable. Where we had, where is that? Here, here, and here. Before we do very what best option for a new computer. After that, since Matt joined us, we reviewed with her our notes from yesterday PTs on the most logical web platform we want to set up for the USB launch. We agreed to have all systems go on WordPress. Pending agreement mid session. Finally, we outlined the next steps on answer priority. This was 20 days ago. And then we spent another 2 hours admin session. We spent another 2 hours the other day, and we're still stuck, and we still don't have a decision and agreement on a technical infrastructure which is preventing us to work on general support, to work on assets, to work on client work, because in my opinion, in my observation, Mel has something personal against me, and every time that we are in a session together, she needs
Okay.
to go against me. Okay.
So you're getting back into the opinions, but keep going.
This is my opinion. So this is my opinion. And I don't know what else to say.
Well, that was all very, very good. You did everything really well until you got to the point that Mel has something personally against me, right?
This is my opinion because I can take the.
I understand, but you can express your opinion with observations.
Okay, you want
and
I can take the life support.
how does you feel?
Okay, I can take the life support recording. You can see that she picks on me. I don't know, at least 3 or 4
Okay,
times.
but again, that's an opinion, right? She picking on me. You can say the specific observation of what is actually happening that you describe as her picking on you, right? Because otherwise, it's just an opinion of what happened as opposed to the actual observation. So What I would request is that we just focus on what you actually did present, which was very specific and allows us as a team to solve a problem. Because 20 days ago, there was agreement in moving forward, and then something happened that got all stuck, and then it kind of has gone nowhere. And like, I'm going to break policy here, kind of go out of the structure, but we're trying to wrap up here and finish. So I think we can do that. But I do want to come back and repeat what Alberto said, but I want to say this, which is simply that for me, Mel has something very personal against WordPress, and Mel loves Wix, right? That for me is a very clear observation, right? That Mel does not particularly like WordPress and she loves Wix. And then for me, the other observation is that Mel said, basically after talking for 2 hours, I don't care at all about any of the, technicality of this, do whatever they want. And it's like, for me, that makes me feel um, unimportantized. It's basically, it makes me feel like it just doesn't, that not only does it, you don't think that it matters what the WordPress is going to be, but it's just that I don't matter. And it makes me feel like I don't matter when you say that kind of thing, because we put so much effort into it, and on a professional level, we should just address the decision that the team needs to do professionally. And so when you say it no longer matters, it just makes me feel that you just don't care about the needs of the team, that it makes me feel like it's that all this effort and time put into this and us trying to move forward also doesn't matter. And we are at a place where we don't, even if we put in 100 hours into building a WordPress website and make it as good as we possibly can, it still doesn't matter, because you say, I would never even share that with anybody. It sucks. It's your 100 hours of work literally are pathetic, and I wouldn't even share that with anybody. And that makes me feel like, why even try? It makes me feel that all of my efforts don't matter. I feel like I don't matter when you say this kind of thing. Right? And so again, this is going back to what Alberto just said, specifically about going back 20 days ago till now, we're in this sort of stale part. And I understand that, obviously Mel doesn't like WordPress. He prefers Wix. There's all the issues around it. But as an organization, we just need to professionally get to a level of making a decision so that we can have clarity and move forward. And we are stuck in that, and that does need to be addressed. And I think Alberto is correct to bring that up, and I think this is the correct place to bring it up. So with that said, I'm going to stop, and I would challenge either, I guess we have Luisa, Joyce, and Mel on the call, but you could respond. I guess you want to repeat back two things. You want to repeat basically what Alberto said and what I said. There's two things there, but they're about the same thing, basically. Does anyone want to try repeating it back?
Repeat what Alberto said?
Yeah, you can do what Alberto said and or what I said. Go for it.
Maybe what Alberto said just now. So he said before you interrupted him, what I heard Alberto said was that he is very frustrated with the fact that we're not moving forward with client work, and that we are rediscussing about something that has been already agreed or decided. And so that has been very challenging for him. And then, he went into identifying Mel being maybe not very nice to him, or, picking on him. That's what I heard.
Yeah, let's skip that one, because that's an opinion as opposed to an observation. So
right, that's an opinion. Okay.
Let's skip that one.
Yes. So I think what I heard then is this situation where we're backtracking onto decisions I already made, and which is WordPress over Wix, and then that is preventing client work to be done or progress to be made.
Yes. Plus, I would add that I would remark that I have nothing personal, and I don't care. You can pick on me as much as you want. I can take anything, but I really care for us to, for the flow to be blocked by something that I feel that is okay. It's also my fault, obviously, right? If somebody has something against me, it's my fault as well. As well, right? But my problem is that I feel that my observation is that the flow is not moving forward on this very important component of the vortex, this trajectory, because I feel in my observation that there has happened something that has that 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 Mel is whenever Mel and I are together, she needs to in my opinion, my observation, she she's not focused in the topic because she's
That
kind of
would be an
blinded,
opinion.
in my opinion, kind of blinded of I don't know, trying to prove something that I personally couldn't care less because I only care about moving forward. So for me, it's nothing personal. Couldn't care less about anything, but the situation continues. I go forward regardless.
Yeah. So again, you kind of like got into the opinions, which is a little hard to understand, but I do want to ask one other question to you, Alberto. Is that okay?
Excuse me?
Can I ask you a question? Or I mean, you can try to repeat that without going into the opinions. Maybe we'll understand it better.
Yes.
But I do have a question I want to ask you.
Yes, please.
So going back to what Luis was saying, for me, the question has nothing to do with forgiveness, has everything to do with what do you need to see happen to feel better? What is the list of things that you want to see, Alberto, that would make you feel better? Obviously, this list is not something that's just magically going to happen. It could take time. But is there anything that you can
I would
state that would help you?
I would love to see, if possible, what makes me really happy is to see Mel put her potential at work in a constructive way because she's so smart, so capable, so much better to do work than I am, for example. But in my opinion, my observation, lately there is something that is preventing this to happen, and so the organization is suffering. Our flow is suffering
Okay.
because we are missing a component that is very strong, like man, because man makes wonderful work, but there's something that I don't understand. But I feel there is something that she wants to try to, in my opinion, my observation, she needs to try to prove something that I don't understand what
Okay,
it
but
is.
let's get away from she this, she that. Like those are all opinions.
Yeah. So
Focusing on
what I would
focusing
love
on what.
for Mel to try to give it a try, and listen to you. Listen to you.
Okay, so I'm not sure about better listening, but I hear the first one is very clear that you would love to see Mel be able to put the highest level of her potential into the team. You know, at the highest level. I heard you say that you want the flow of the team to go better. And there's something about listening. I didn't quite get the listening one, but
I didn't say the flow the team because I'm in a position that I couldn't care less about the team at this point because the flow of the organization of the vortex needs to go on. And if the team is disconnected, I personally cut the team in 2 seconds and move forward because we cannot be stuck because of the team or because of human little annoyance. I don't know how you say in Italian. Significant human paranoia, non so come si dice in italiano, comportamenti umani che sono insignificanti per me e quindi io se questa situazione team lo taglio in 5 secondi e vado avanti con l'organizzazione, con il flow, perché non possiamo rimanere fermi così tanto tempo su un'infrastruttura che dobbiamo solo decidere di averla pronta per quando lavoreremo. Quindi I'm not saying about the team, the flow of the team. I couldn't care less about the flow of the team. I care about the flow of the vortex.
Of the what?
Of the vortex.
But the vortex is the team, Alberto. Like for me, when you like everybody who's here is committed to the team. I hear Mel is here to be committed to the team. Luis is here to be committed to the team. Everyone who was at the main session yesterday that literally flowed perfectly is committed to the team. And by definition, the vortex. Like, we are the vortex. We are the team. It's one and the same. When you talk like that you just don't care about the team, it is a foundational, fundamental value and principle that is in disalignment.
I do
That's
care
how
about
we work with
the
you when
team.
we are the team.
I do care about not about the team, but I do care a lot about the team. But I couldn't care less about the flow of the team. I care about the flow of the vortex. So at this time, I see that the flow of the team.
Okay, I want to see the
is
flow.
not-
Okay, so
not
let us see
enough time
the flow
and
of the vortex be better. Flow of the vortex be better. Okay,
Okay.
but the team flowing will work with in alignment with the vortex flowing. But your main goal and what will make you feel better is that the flow of the vortex is
Yes,
much better.
because the vortex is requesting that we focus on GLN
Okay.
network, assets, and other things. And if
Okay.
the flow of the team keeps not flowing in the same direction, at this point where we are, there's things that if we don't urgently focus on, we are gonna go against a wall. We are going against a wall. So at this time, there's times where you need to just move forward. I do care about the team. I care a lot about the team. I care about the whole team. But this time, the flow of the team is completely disconnected. And if the flow of the team keeps being disconnected, this time I will cut the team in 2 seconds and I will move forward with what is really urgent. And as soon as the things that are urgent, I will feel that are in a better place, then I'll be the first one to go back and focus on the flow of the team to get it back in alignment. But at this moment, there's too much disconnection, and we're killing ourselves. We are going against the wall, and we cannot allow it.
So let's just take a breath. We have our rhythm is not going. That's a problem. Why is the rhythm?
Yeah, I feel like we missed a break or something.
Yeah, we missed a break in the rhythm. So okay, so we're gonna take a break in like a minute. But I would like to just make sure that this list is complete because I'm hearing two things from you, Alberto. You want to see Mel meter highest potential of work with the team, and then you want to see the flow of the vortex be better. Are those the two things, or did we miss something? That'll make you feel better.
Yeah, I would love to try. I don't know
Time to take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
Okay, but please don't repeat what I just said. Is there anything in addition to those two things that we're missing? Yes or no?
Yes, I mean, that's because it's in it. Yes, yes, it's good. It's good, yes.
Great. Okay, so we're gonna take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to get focused on just like next steps. I already have most of the next steps listed here in line 512. I don't think we've ever gotten to 500 before. And then I think we're basically ready to wrap up and check out at this time. But obviously, there is a lot of work to go. I think I'm glad we all stayed here to where we are now. I think we're starting to see the real picture of what's actually happening. So 5-minute break.
Yes.
If anyone needs to check out right now, definitely check out. I mean, it's okay, but otherwise 5-minute break. Cool.
Okay.
We still have
Are we still on break?
yeah we're at the
Okay.
bottom of the hour, so we still have 2 more minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
It's
the
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
All right. Is everyone back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes.
Okay. So at this time, we really do need to start wrapping up. And I mean, if people wanted to, we could go on forever, and I'm willing to stay here as long as we need to. But in the context of moving forward, it could be good to at least take a break and go back to view ups and all that stuff, or go into wrap up and next steps. But before we do that, is there any like last thing someone just needs to say before we move on? Because a lot has been said in the last like 20 minutes, and there hasn't been a lot of responses, etc. on that. So mainly for Joyce, Mel, or Louisa. Is that a no? Nothing that needs to be added, or?
Nope, not at the moment.
Okay. Awesome. Right. So let's go ahead and go into the next steps. Okay. So I am basically going to go into what I've heard so far, and then we want to see if there's anything missing. Okay. So number one, what we're doing right now, there is a request for clear next steps and clear expectations. Just so everyone knows, I'm in the wrap up tab. Okay. So clear next steps, clear expectations, that is our first goal, and that's what we're doing right now. We have a proposal to continue the contentious situation session next week, Wednesday, Andromeda Hour 2, which is 2 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If anyone has an issue with that, let us know. We need to address the situation with FQV Umbrella Showcase website. We need to address the website situation with FQV Umbrella Showcase website, SVG, CCC, and this is kind of like that big WordPress, Wix, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, this is basically obviously a root issue, and it's 20 days old. And it obviously needs to be addressed, but not in a way that is like, who cares what's going to happen? But it needs to be addressed in a professional way. Like, obviously, this affects everything moving forward for the entire launch. Very important. Request, highest level practice, going deep into our boring physical world. So this is a request from Jay to have a topic time to share my thoughts on, everything from grounding to
Time to pause.
addressing.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Addressing being overwhelmed and, emotional burnout, all of that. What I'm hearing is that there is definitely discussion of being burnt out, of being wanting to cut off and go away. That is normal. It happens, and it should be addressed if we have time. We can continue to ask. We did some of this, did some of this, but can continue to ask what needs to happen to feel better. Policy, Alberto. Yeah.
To be clear,
Yeah.
I'm not burned out. I'm stronger than ever. But if they, and what I'm saying is that the work, the team is preventing this urgent work to happen. I will take drastic measures to make sure that this work happens before, because I don't see any other way. Because if we go into sessions and we spend hours and hours and hours with very little output, and these sessions overlap on other sessions later, or creating me such a strong stress that
Yes, I understand.
I'm not
I
burned out.
understand.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand exactly what you're saying, Alberto. And all I'm saying is that is exactly how Mel feels, and that's exactly why she created those 2 websites to the team. She did not want to sit there and wait for the team to blah, 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 blah. And so she just moved forward and did what she had to do to make things better. That's my observation of what I saw.
Yeah, and I would be fine if you created this as a volunteer, as a GCG partner, as a GCG owner, founder, sponsor. As a core team, we, in order for be successful, we do things in a certain way, and with the base of everything, it's agreement.
Yeah.
Agreement.
And I mean, I'm gonna jump in here not as facilitator, but just as my personal perception. For me, I disagree with the whole idea that somehow volunteers can do whatever the hell they want. They don't have to follow policies. They don't have to actually, like, if a volunteer wants to be on the core team and they want to support the organization, the network, or any board or anything, they should have to follow the same policies that everyone else. In fact, I don't know. I just feel like it's the idea that somehow a volunteer versus.
But I agree with you. But a volunteer that spends hours and creates a draft website, I would love it. I would say, oh, how cool! Oh, you did that. Oh, amazing. But a core team member that goes off by itself and just starts creating websites without any kind of coordination, planning with the team.
Yes, I understand. Yes, I understand. And over the last year and a half, I could probably list at least a half a dozen times that you did something similar to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So I'd love to schedule more time with you, Alberto, to go through all the details and everything. But for me, again, it's like you acknowledge yourself that you have done that, over the last year. And it's like, this is Mel's first month, and she goes off and does that and does the policy tracking, and it's still not enough for you. And I feel like the whole purpose of policy tracking is to move forward. And when someone does policy tracking and you still don't move forward, it defeats the purpose of policy tracking, because then you're saying that policy tracking doesn't matter.
I said in that session, once she finally did policy, I said, thank you so much. Now I feel harmony again.
I understand, but we still go back to that over and over and over again, right? We still are going back to that. And it's still, even though she did the policy tracking, it's still brought up at least a dozen times, at least a half a dozen times since then,
Yeah.
So anyways, let's just keep moving forward with the next steps. If there's something that we're missing that you want to add, let me know, okay? Was there anything out of that conversation that we need to add here, or is it fine? We just keep continue.
No, I mean,
Did I miss something, or?
I just want to be sure. Don't worry, guys.
Okay. Okay, cool. So, but again, for me, it's like at an organizational level, if someone's saying they want to leave for whatever reason, it still affects the organization. Even obviously, you're going to continue to work and make the world a better place. Other places, it's still obviously.
I said very time that this is what I will schedule only for determined work. Otherwise, I will work only asynchronous or individual work. This is what I said. I never said leave. The last thing I want to do is leave. I love it here.
Okay, but okay, let's just move on. So,
can I comment on that? Because I was very shocked.
I have lots of comments too. No.
I was very shocked to hear that you might take a leave, but we went from a few months ago just being like, oh, this is magical. Some of the good sessions with ACU, right? And then working together, not that badly. It was good overall, right? But then to wanting to change the world, and then after that session, we're both like, I'm gonna quit, and I was like, and then I heard you're about to quit, and I was like, how did that happen? So I'm happy for today's session. I'm also rethinking my role at FQN. I'm not sure yet. I'm committed to CCC.
Well,
I'm
I have some
dedicated
opinions.
to GCG, but I don't know about FQN anymore. You know, this is very separate than Louisa's involvement now. I'm very happy she joined the team, but this is my personal decision. But I see your value. You are Jay's wingman. You're
Yeah.
bringing in your new client. I don't want you to leave unless you know
I
it
never
really
said
makes
I'm
sense in your
leaving.
life.
One,
Never
two,
said I'm leaving. Never said I'm leaving.
Oh, I don't know. Somewhere on Discord it said, I'm gonna take 3 months leave or something. I don't know.
I'm
You
gonna
know?
I'm gonna take 3 months where I'm gonna be willing to schedule only on specific work, and then the rest of the work I'm gonna keep working as secret. By the way, I have good proposal for you, Mel, about your role. Yeah, I believe too. I mean, we should. This is what we should discuss. I mean, the role of Mel, because you're so much potential, but obviously,
Yeah. So that's on the list. I have that on the list. So I have the policy changes. What does it mean being on the core team? I think that's a really important policy to have clarity on,
yeah,
right? When you go from a volunteer or you go from whether you're paid or not, but to be on the core team versus not being on the core team, what does that mean? And then we have seeing the flow of the vortex being much better. For me, that relates to the vortex vital signs, vortex vitals. And then we have the continue to create safe space. I feel like we did pretty good on creating safe space today, but we can continue to do better. And then I have the team dynamics profiles, which includes Mel's involvement in the team, which is a plan of what it could mean for Mel to be in her highest capacity within the team. And that also applies to Alberto's involvement, a plan for what it could mean to have Alberto at his highest involvement with the team. Right? Oh, and then I already did the vortex vital signs here. Okay. So that's what I have so far. Is there anything else that we're missing?
when you say team, you mean the core team.
Yeah.
The core team, yeah, the core team, because there is the core team, which is something very specific. Then there is, I mean,
Of course.
yeah, then there is like for example, Mel, if you work just on client work, for example, with SVG, you still get paid. It's not that you need to be on the core team to get paid. Yeah, there's nothing that
Yeah,
Well,
I
sure,
think it's
but
good to explain. Yeah, the difference between core team and then we have a larger team, right? We don't count we're not talking about the board members or anything like that, like
yeah.
Kelly or Joel or whatever, you know? There's a lot more people involved than just the
yeah,
people you see.
we
Yeah.
wanna be functional. So meaning functional is creating a space for Mel to be comfortable to do the work the way she likes to do it. And I see that the core team is not something that's it's good for you, right? And you remember when you
And that's an opinion. That is an opinion.
yeah, this
And
my
if you don't think it's good for Mel, that's your personal opinion, but that is not the opinion of the entire team. And we don't know what Mel's opinion. So again,
as a matter of fact, yeah, as a matter of fact, my opinion, you remember, Mel,
but I don't want to hear your opinion. I want everyone to stop using their opinions and to get focused as professional workers here. We need to move forward. We're in wrap up. This is not the time to share all of our opinions for the next hour and a half. So can you please not share your opinion?
but me as executive, I was foreseeing this. This is what I'm saying. I was foreseeing this. Because what I want to say is that me as executive, I was foreseeing this. Because I foresee where we're going. And as a matter of fact, I talked to Mel when she got into the budget. And Mel, now you're in the core team. This is very different, right? I mean, it's different the way that we were. It's different the way they move forward.
Okay, but we have here policy on changes of being on the core team. It should be very specific. What is different? So instead of talking about that it is different, we need to talk about what exactly is different. Because just saying it's different is not enough. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
You can make many examples.
yeah, so I want to make sure it's very clear under the policies. If somebody is not in the core team and they want to get paid, they would need to be a independent contractor contracted on a business level in relationship to doing deliverables.
Yeah.
Period. Okay?
Many solutions.
So at this time, that would be an example of, like, for example, hiring an external lawyer or hiring an external person for your website. Or hiring an external person for, whatever sort of consulting. They are not part of the team. They're an external worker that is hired to do something for us.
Yeah, and
They have a deliverable.
yeah, I believe that since we're expanding, we're growing, and if we manage to get the flow back, I mean, it's just natural that we are dynamic. It's just natural. I mean, that we find solutions. And Mel, for example, I make an example, right? Mel loves to work on the website. Perfect. So let's make a contract with Mel that she can work on the website 30 hours per month, and you get paid 30 hours per month for working on the website or something like that, right? Or we can see solutions later.
Again, that's up to the team to decide what they want to do for that.
Everything.
It'd be a budgetary decision to hire a contractor, and hiring a contractor can still be in the budget. It's just an external contractor as opposed to an internal team member.
Everything.
But again, for me, that is a discussion to be had.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's necessarily next step to the contentious situation. Like, I feel like that's about just Mel's involvement in her and how to help Mel meet the highest capacity with the team. If that means being external to the team for either Mel or Vulture or anybody, then that's fine. But it's still supporting the team. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good. Anything else for next steps for the contentious situation? Expectations moving forward.
No, I think that's fine. We can do checkouts. I know it's, been going, it's almost 3 hours.
To pause.
Yeah.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Did everyone get their stretch in? I know we kind of missed a break somewhere, so doing the stretch is good. Let's go into checkouts. Is there anything anyone wants to add before we go into checkouts?
No.
Did you put team dynamics next step? I mean, team dynamics are becoming a top priority here. I would definitely.
I mean, for me, Mel's involvement in the core team and Alberto's involvement is team dynamics. That is exactly what team dynamics is. So for me, I put team dynamics profile, continue to work on it, and I put Mel and Alberto's involvement. Because that for me, that is team dynamics.
I was reading just the next steps.
Yeah, I'm in wrap up. It's all in the wrap up. On line 20.
I'm in the wrong one.
Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you. Yeah, it's everywhere to dynamics. Yes.
Okay. If there's nothing else, then let's go ahead and check out. I'm going to start with Ate. Ate says, I'm very sorry that my internet package for the month is expired and my backup isn't able to connect on Jitsi. I like the calmness and serenity in which the session is happening. Please, you guys should keep it that way and we air out minds in a friendly way and move the team forward. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay. Who wants to go next? I am happy to go next. No one else wants to. I would give this session a 6. We definitely missed some breaks. The end there. I'm going to give it a 6.4. We achieved some objectives. We have clarity on next steps. I feel like if the primary goal is to be heard, I feel like everybody was heard. With that said, I'm not particularly happy with everything that I heard and that was said. There's still lots of concerns. Like, I'm concerned about the team. I'm concerned about, moving forward. I'm concerned about how we all work together. I'm concerned about how I work with Alberto. I'm concerned about, all these additional contracts and client work that we have to do. And it's a lot. So I'm excited about continuing this. I feel good from now through Wednesday to just do whatever work that needs to get done.
For breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
But I just want to make sure it's very clear for me that the dynamic of yesterday's main session was what I want to see. Yesterday's main session was professional, it was organized, everyone contributed, everyone felt equal, it was very clear, we moved forward. It was a beautiful thing. And there's no reason why all of us can't do that together at any time. You know, so things can get very difficult. You know, I feel like there's a need to like create lots of extra policies sometimes because it can be so difficult to just stay focused and communicate and be on track, you know, in the difference in cultures. So as a team, we need to address that and get it to work. In terms of moving forward, I'm committed to working on SEC deadline for Monday. I don't know if we might have like an hour or two before the Edgar system closes. I know Joyce might be interested in working on that more. Eileen was helping me yesterday, so maybe, oh, it wasn't Joyce, it was Eileen. And I also am committed to working on all of these next steps, you know. The things that I get most excited about is the idea of the vital signs for the vortex. I would love to work on that and prioritize it. And then for me, I feel like the number one priority besides the contentious situation for the team is addressing the launch website. I feel like that is definitely a very, very important priority. So I'm totally dedicated to schedule and work on that. Anytime we need, I don't know what exactly we need for that, but I feel like it is rooted with, you know, understanding the long-term relationship of Wix in WordPress. And so it would be helpful for Mel to be there. So if that's what we need to address, if Mel can't meet until next Wednesday, then maybe we'd have to wait till next Wednesday. Because for me, it's more important to make sure there's clarity on moving forward than to just rush it. But at the same time, I know we do need to move forward. And the only other thing I'll say is we do need to deal with the budget. Check. Who wants to go next?
Okay, I'll go next. I'll give a session like a 7. Um, I feel like now is the ambience now.
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Yeah, I feel that the ambience now is much lighter than the past days. For this contentious situation, like even feeling in the jitsi in the discord, I feel it's very like tension, you know. But now in the session, I feel it's better because everybody already told their what they're feeling and everything, so they express everything already. So I feel it's lighter, and I hope it will really be solved for the next couple of days, and also so we can go on with our work better. Yeah, check. And I will work. I'll be working on, I think, more client work. Yeah, I have to focus on that, and also on many priorities like the deadlines and all. We'll see. Check.
Who wants to go next?
I can. So
Louisa.
yes, I will give session 8. I learned actually a lot through the session about nonviolent communication, more about team dynamics. It was very informative, but as well as it was like a very interesting process to to witness and experience. And I really appreciate everyone on the team who has been here. Very appreciate you, Jay, for all the wisdom that you share with me, and also with everyone else. And I appreciate Alberto for being brave to share his feelings, and for Mel as well to be listening. So yeah, same. I hope we'll be able to resolve this conflict and move forward. And I'm sure the team is going to be working much better after this. Check.
Thank you, Luisa. Who would like to go next?
Ladies first.
I'll go. Okay. So basically, I give this session a 7, and I thought it was good to hear everyone's opinion, and I quite frankly enjoy NVC, nonviolent communication, the process. I think it's good practice to do it, and yeah, I am looking forward to the next formal session, but I think we have some good next steps moving forward. Yeah, check. Oh, and what I'll be working on next. Yeah, I mean, I want to schedule and figure out the website stuff. CCC, I'm a little, one of my priorities is to stay aware of everything going on with CCC, just making sure we respond to, the guy who's being recruited, current programs are being followed up with, and new inquiries are being followed up with, yeah, check.
Great. Luisa, did we get what you were planning on doing? Did we get that?
No, sorry.
Okay.
So I'm still onboarding. So I am going to work with Ate, whoever is available to onboard me, to figure out the priorities and to find my next deliverable.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Alberto, is it your turn?
Yeah, give a session a 6. 6. I think better for sure, but in general, the session was good until the rhythm was out the window, so kind of broke the rhythm. So in general, I have not much to do to say. I just wanna work, and I don't really know what I am gonna do or what I'm not gonna do, but sure, I'm gonna try to keep prioritizing JLN support, assets, and Alpha, which Alpha I believe can be a very strong, bring a lot of value to the whole mission, vision, and talking about monetary value, because I mean, once we sell the mine, we're gonna bring a lot of cash, and also, but especially the cleanup of Alpha can be a very good first impact of making the world a better place, because as Jay said, society, we want to transform society. The way that we want to transform society is one organization at a time. Hopefully, going to be a good playground, a good benchmark for us to understand and become a very organized on how to tackle this kind of challenges. So I really hope that Jay, this I'm making a request to you. I really hope that today we find some time with all the rest, because finalize those two agreements that are pending. I really want to close them. I see you and out.
Great. Yeah. Could prioritize whatever you want during Cobalt. I'm available. How long till Cobalt?
Well, Global H2 is basically now in 2 minutes. So
Is when?
it's now in two minutes.
Okay, so maybe bottom of the hour, or let's take an hour. Let's take a break for an hour. Sound good? We'll check in on Discord.
Yeah, let's take it. Okay.
Beautiful.
Global H2.
All right. Did we miss anyone? Joyce? We got Joyce. I think it's all of us, right?
Yes.
There was one other thing I was going to say, but I forget what it was. Oh, I remember. I want to make sure that in the next session on Wednesday, that for me, the number one most important thing to address is this discussion and relationship to fragmenting the team and who and how people may or may not be. Like, I either want to move forward as a commitment as a team, or I want to move forward having clarity on what would happen if the team fragmented. Because without that being addressed as a core value and core principle in relationship to the vortex, like, I don't know how we can move forward.
Can I just add to that? I agree with you and I hear you. What do you mean by fragmented? But in my experience with companies and various companies, they have different departments, like a finance department, a marketing department, executive leadership department. There's departments.
Yeah, we
I
have
don't know about
AGC, we have AGC, we've got value team, we have eval team, we've got the management team, we've got, all the different teams that are under the core team.
So when I hear fragmented, I thought it was more like different teams for different things. It doesn't make sense that Alberto is on websites, or something like that. Or I need to do payroll all the time or something like that in the future or whatever. I would like more understanding. We're not going about
Okay,
who
great.
is doing what,
Yeah, so
in the
structure
future.
and assignment of the team. Structure and assignments of the team. I also think it's super duper important to have clarity on the organizational structure. So in the past, the organizational structure was always that the core team met at the Mercury session once every month and a half. That was the one and only mandatory required session that everybody had to be to. At this time with SVG, we evolved to like the partnership structure and the launch and trying to get everything together where there's so much to do and it's so fast paced that we needed to meet every single week. But I think we're ready to transition again and go back to our normal structure where the core team, for example, happens once a month, right? So it's like the core team doesn't necessarily have to meet every single week, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't exist. Does that make sense? So we can address the structure and the assignments of the team in the organization. Very important. I've been actually bringing that up for a couple weeks now.
We need to, for sure, we need to organize ourselves because we are very fast, even though maybe it's not perceived by most, but we're moving very, very fast, and we really need to get organized and focused. So I agree with what Matt said. I agree with what you were saying. Let's do that sooner rather than later. Or we just slow down, or just slow down, and we decide, we agree that okay, we all slow down, and we can do that. As long as there is agreement and clear trajectories.
Cool. Awesome. All right, I think we are good. So I'll talk to you all later.
Thank you, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.
Okay,
Okay,
bye-bye.
thanks everyone.
Ciao.